I'm always nice to this kitty. Always petting him and whatnot.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
Once upon a time, in the far-off time period of July 2024, the cartoon community on Twitter had another one of their old man yelling at crowd moments when they caused a whole ass debate over an obscure pilot from a semi-obscure Cartoon Network anthology series from over 25 years ago because of how, quote, mean-spirited and, quote, uncomfortable it supposedly is. Like, I know this non-controversy may be irrelevant now, but it's still a disgusting piece I've been itching to talk about as a fan of these type of cartoons myself. I get my animation gossip first from Clarabelle Cow because, as you may know, I've been boycotting Dodie Bishop's gossip bullcrap for over a decade after she nearly doxed Courtney Griplin. Seriously, this girl needs help. Anyway, let's establish context. Adult Swim's nostalgia-themed block within a block, Checkered Past, was announced to get a new arrival on their schedule near the end of July 2024, the What a Cartoon Show. To those who are major Cartoon Network nerds like myself, the existence of this pilot program led by the legendary Fred Seibert, as well as its importance to 90s TV animation history, is pretty much common knowledge. Without it, we wouldn't have classics like Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Courage, Cow and Chicken, and the alleged forbidden fruit known as Johnny Bravo, to help redefine Cartoon Network from being a rerun hub for vintage animated shorts to an incredibly worthy competitor to Nickelodeon and their Nicktoons. Hell, whether you love it or not, we might not even have Family Guy had Fox not shown interest in Proto-Peter and Proto-Brian over here. So yeah, in a way this means Family Guy returned to Adult Swim after 3 years, even though they're now on Comedy Central too. Now, considering this was an anthology series consisting of pilots that went unsold, meaning some rights were reverted back to the creators, the addition of What Cartoon to Checkered Past lineup is easily the coolest deep cut update to the schedule since they reran my beloved evil Con Carne. However, it wasn't too long ago since the last time Cartoon Network acknowledged the show, because they actually had some shorts from it uploaded to the video section of their website to promote HBO Max in 2020. By the way, press F in the comments for Cartoon Network's website shutting down. As a Canadian with vivid childhood memories of watching Cartoon Network's original series until my preteen years, playing the games on their website was my #1 way of getting my checkerboard fix. Back on topic, the original What Cartoon Show last aired on American TV overall in 2007 on Boomerang and was last seen on Cartoon Network proper in 2003 until it was replaced by the Cartoon Show in 2005, where it focused on episodes of every already established cartoon except for Sheep in the Big City due to its serialized format. So yeah, I for one welcome the return of such a revolutionary program to Cartoon Network's rapper Adult Swim schedule. But, as you may have already figured out, this editorial video is centered on only one of the many rejected pilots originating from What a Cartoon, the one out of all of them that got a surprising amount of heated attention on X, formerly known as Twitter, because again, the cartoon community loves making mountains out of atom anthills. This short is called Buy One Get One Free, created by Charlie Bean, who worked on several Cartoon Network classics as well as directed the Lego Ninjago movie, Don Shank, currently a top art director at Pixar, and Carey Yost, an awesome character designer who, among many other things, was partially responsible for the UPA style of Clone High, both the original and its recently cancelled but recently Emmy-winning revival. For the plot summary, it was about a bachelor in New York City named Riley who hooks himself up with a sexy cat lover named Sophie, and in order to validate himself as a cat lover, he hurriedly buys a cheap orange kitty named Flinch. From the get-go, it's established that he only bought this pussy cat in order to get himself some different type of pussy cat, if you know what I mean. Unlike his potential girlfriend, however, Riley is a two-faced, hair-triggered who hates cats enough to threaten Flint with a visit to the violin factory if the cat even leaves a single scratch on the bachelor pad. The conflict starts once Sophie brings over her cat, a cool beatnik named Fix, as a playmate for Flint, while she and Riley go out to the opera. Gee, I wonder why this cat is named Fix. we see the paranoid puss doing his damnedest to prevent the Widow Party ammo from doing his thing by trashing the place. However, it doesn't take long for him to fall under Fix's spell, thanks to the power of music, and a feline fun fest commences. Hey look, it's Brazil's favorite Hanna-Barbera character, Top Cat. Wait, is that my neighbor Totoro? But as expected, the cat scat once the human couple arrive home. And saying that Riley is upset that his new cat disobeyed his orders is a bigger understatement than saying that this short takes a little influence from the Ren Stimpy Show. More on that later. Right now, Riley is channeling his inner Ren-hoic by aggressively petting Flint like a psychopath, revealing his true nature to his cat-loving girlfriend as he calls animal control on him. The authorities take the lunatic away, complete with this funny food pun.
Hey, partner, you want a leg or a wing?
And Flint and Fix live happily ever after with a lady who loves all cats equally. Even the weird orange ones. Before we get into the outrage that this nearly 30-year-old episode of television animation caused on Twitter, I'll give my own thoughts on Buy One Get One Free. While it's no Larry and Steve, this short is one of my favorite one-shot shorts on the Water Cartoon Show, especially upon rewatching and gaining more appreciation for it since the aforementioned outrage on social media. With its simple plot that I swear feels like it was a Tom and Jerry cartoon at one point, this is one of those shorts that proves Fresh Seibert's intentions with the Water Cartoon Show. The objective for these shorts is to not only be a good pilot for Greenlighted, but also a good standalone short, much like the many one-offs in the classic Looney Tunes series or Tex Avery's MGM cartoons. If there's interest in more shorts with these characters, then the creators will make them, but Buy One Get One Free falls under the category of shorts that are best being left as a one-shot. I can hardly see how this could expand upon the story that has been told here. Unless Flint and Fix were to be used as universal characters like Tom and Jerry, most of the Looney Tunes cast, and Ren and Stimpy, where you can place them in any setting the plot calls for. So the cats got lucky and were left as a one and done sort, while the family dog wasn't so fortunate. But that's a different story for another time. Speaking of Ren and Stimpy, it's time to get the elephant out of the room. There is obvious DNA from the Ren and Stimpy show, especially the flatter looking games animation seasons, visible throughout this short's overall art direction, expressive character layouts drawn in-house, and unhinged humor of the physical and mental varieties. Unsurprisingly, it's because the crew behind Buy One Get One Free was predominantly made up of employees from Ren and Stimpy. In addition to the free credited creators, we also have on board the late great Chris Riccardi, his wife Wen Naylor, Bob Jakes, Jim Smith, Mike Fontanelli, Scott Wills, and Julian Chaney. It's a healthy mix of the best talent from both the Spunko and Games eras of Ren and Stimpy. Imagine if Bob Camp, Vincent Waller, Mike Kim, and Steve Wolter were invited to the party as well. So, as a huge fan of the Nicktoon, seeing its contagious influence sprinkled throughout Buy One Get One Free is something that I, for one, welcome with open arms. Unlike some people, but we'll get there when we get there. But it's not just limited to Ren and Stimpy DNA. Thanks to the involvements of Craig McCracken, Rob Renzetti, Robert Alvarez, and even Gendy Tarkovsky, there are similarities to the styles of Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls present in here too, even in the sound design. Also, Time Squad creator Dave Wasson was a layout artist on this too. I didn't know how else to incorporate mention of him in the previous few sentences, but yeah, Time Squad fans, where you at, dog? Oh, and did I mention that our two main felines, Flint and Fix, are voiced by two of my favorite brothers in voice acted, Kevin Michael Richardson and Greg Eagles respectively? Yeah, I didn't immediately recognize their voices until I saw the end credits, but they obviously did an excellent job in their respective roles as this neurotic pussy cat and this nasally sounding beatnik.
Excuse me, sir, but I don't think you should be touching this guy's stuff. Why don't you put a sock in it, man, and check this recording? You dig?
So overall, I really like Buy One Get One Free because it coming off as a games episode of Ren and Stimpy that somehow snuck its way onto Cartoon Network may be distracting, but it's a good kind of distracting due to my love for the dumb red cat and the psychotic asthma hound chihuahua. although that logic would imply that I'm a fan of the Stuckums and Me Funny cartoons, so while I don't hate it, in fact I absolutely love its designs, I am aware that its intentions of being the next Ren and Stimpy felt more like it was mandated by the company, Disney in this case. Buy one get one free is more or less trying to be its own thing, on top of showing off its Spunko/games animation DNA. Alright, I believe it's about time we get into all the discord this one forgotten cartoon caused on Twitter. But before we do, I'd like to remind you all that if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit the like button and subscribe for more cartoony nerdiness like this because we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Also, please consider supporting me on Ko-fi because making these videos for free isn't super easy, you know. Your support really helps me out as an independent artist. Thanks. Alright, to quote Bracket Neutron, eat your Dr. Pepper and drink your popcorn, folks. It's time for the main event. When the Adult Swim fan account Swimpedia tweeted on July 9, 2024 that the What Cartoon Show is going to be a part of Checkered Past lineup, another user, Jeffrey @BlackOKing, quoted the announcement with the climax from Buy One Get One Free, with Riley abused in twins and rightfully being taken away by animal control for his heinous yet hilariously exaggerated accents. Oh god, this is going to be on Adult Swim soon, he wrote. From there, Pandora's box was opened wide. Amidst the more civil comments, there was a flame war that ensued, consisting of two sides. Side A, with people who find the short, or at least the scene, too uncomfortable and mean-spirited, and Side B, with people thinking those in Side A are overreacting, accusing them of being wimpy zoomers who are unable to grasp the insanity and irreverence of older cartoons like these. I'll link you to the original quote tweet in the description to browse through all the different replies for yourself, but don't worry, I'm still gonna highlight some of them as I continue. A part of me wanted to do a dramatic read-in of all these, but this video is already becoming longer than I expected. Side A is also characterized by complaining about Buy One Get One Free bearing too much resemblance to the typical John Kricfalusi psychodrama cartoon, to which Side B will respond with, "No Basil Baker Street, of course it looks like John K. A bunch of Ren and Stimpy people made this. Quit being a bozo!" I should also add that if people inside A think this short has too much John K-isms, then no way in hell they'd think any differently of another What Cartoon short, Tales of Worm Paranoia, whereas Buy One Get One Free bears more resemblance to a games animation episode of Ren and Stimpy. This cartoon, created by John K. apologist Eddie Fitzgerald, is a Spunko-style psychodrama, complete with fluid animation directed by the Carbuncle Cartoons couple of Bob Jakes and Kelly Armstrong. And let me tell ya, after rewatching that worm short as I write the script, it makes Buy One Get One Free look a little bit tamer by comparison.
Johnny, don't do it! You'll go to prison!
Don't touch me! Can't you see my soul is on fire?
Now before I give my direct responses to both sides of this argument over Buy One Get One Free, I'll establish how I came across said debate in the first place. It was on July 11, 2024 when I found out about this debate erupted. By the way, this was the same day that saw the passing of legendary actress Shelley Duvall, therefore I already had something more serious to be disappointed about. But it nonetheless astonished me, arguably more so than what cartoon returning to air on TV at all, might I add, how a forgotten Cartoon Network pilot from the mid-90s was able to stir up such divisive buzz. All this whining from sensitive folks and condescending remarks directed towards those sensitive folks over a silly cartoon about cats throwing a wild party at a fake cat lover's bachelor pad. And I'll admit, it got me contemplating if times have changed so much since the 1990s and 2000s that these so-called mean-spirited cartoons aimed at kids and family audiences are no longer acceptable. Have today's cartoons become softer and sappier? Are the younger cartoon community members too spoiled by more wholesome series like Steven Universe, Phineas and Ferb, The Ghost of Molly McGee, Amphibia, and The Owl House? No offense to those shows, of course. Except for Steven Universe, I really like them too. But I love the rowdier, more irreverent stuff in the veins of Ren and Stimpy, Billy and Mandy, and classic Looney Tunes even more. And SpongeBob is kind of in between being wholesome and irreverent. Also, just saying, I personally refuse to believe that anything happening in Buy One Get One Free is any more disturbing than seeing a 13-year-old girl get weirdly stabbed in the back by a giant evil Newt King voiced by the powerful Keith David. Jesus Christ, that still gives me chills just thinking about it. Anyway, as you might have assumed, if I were to choose between side A and side B, I'd honestly lean more towards the latter, because again, I just love these types of cartoons. However, I won't be as condescending as some of the other users in side B, contrary to what the opening teaser of this video may imply. Seriously, I'm surprised there wasn't a thread about this non-controversy on GameFAQs. They're like the ruder, younger cousin of the Toon Zone forums. Those inside A who find this scene in Buy One Get One Free to be, quote, uncomfortable and mean-spirited are entitled to their opinion. If they don't like it because it's not applicable with their taste in cartoons, that's absolutely fine, and they shouldn't be totally ridiculed for having such an opinion. But, and this is a big but, they should keep in mind two things. One, there is the context behind the existence of Buy One Get One Free. Remember that this short was made during the tail end of Ren and Stimpy's relevance as this cutting-edge, morally defiant children's cartoon that both kids and stoned college frat boys consumed happy joyously. Back in the 90s, animation studios were craving for a slice of that powdered toast, so cartoons with gross out humor, innuendos, exaggerated expressions, and constant mental breakdowns were all the rage, as much as an abundance of witty adult-oriented sitcoms a la The Simpsons. They weren't everybody's cup of tea back then, and they aren't gonna appeal to everybody in this day and age. Still good to have an understanding of the contagious influence Ren and Stimpy had on the TV animation industry during the 90s. Read more about it in Sam Komorowski's book Sick Little Monkeys. I highly recommend it. And number 2, execution is key. Just because a cartoon may come off as mean-spirited, doesn't automatically mean it's all around bad. Your mileage may vary, but if executed well enough, a cartoon with mean-spirited humor can be some of the funniest crap ever. A lot of comedy is derived from misfortune and surprise after all. Don't come off as somebody who can't handle beloved cartoons like Looney Tunes, Peanuts, or Ed and Eddie if they were to be created in today's climate, simply because they are mean-spirited. But even then, while I haven't seen any of the recent Apple TV Plus Peanuts specials, though my eyes are on the Franklin one, I heard they toned down the cynicism of the classic Bill Melendez specials to a degree. For Looney Tunes on the other hand, I can verify that the recent HBO Max series can't be as boundary pussy as the sorts between the 30s and 50s. Sylvester getting neutered, anyone? Or Bugs Bunny's guts being ripped out? Yeah, those happened. As for Ed, Ed and Eddie, well, Danny Antonucci said it won't be coming back anytime soon. Maybe it's for the best though. That series finale movie was really good stuff after all. Going back to Buy One Get One Free, remember that this prick got his comeuppance after he abused his cat, and the two cats are left with a woman who genuinely cares for them. So while some of you were distracted by the extreme cartoon violence in this scene, you seem to forget that Riley didn't get away with his actions. This sort ended on a pretty cathartic note, and this is what I mean when I say execution is a key thing to have in mind. So in conclusion, as awesome as it is that such an important Cartoon Network show as the What a Cartoon Show has been reintroduced to a younger generation, there is just as much fascination to behold regarding the mixed reactions to this one short in particular. I really would like to know from you guys, what are your thoughts on Buy One Get One Free? Are you on side A where you find it too disturbing, or are you on side B where you don't mind the cartoon at all and think those in side A are being a little too sensitive? Once again, I know this happened back in July, but there is no expiration date on having a good debate over the pros and cons of a cartoon that some may deem too mean-spirited. And again, these are my type of tunes. Let's keep the conversation going, folks. For that matter, let me know if you think cartoons these days are playing it safe with their humor, compared to the stuff from the 90s, 2000s, or even early 2010s. Also, while you're at it, let me know if you've been watching one cartoon on Checkered Past lately. I know the way they broadcast it is rather dysfunctional to say the least, but I don't know, it could have been worse. And as always, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more editorial content like this, hit the bell so you won't miss them, and leave a cat emoji in the comments to confirm that you watched this until the very end. Thanks for watching, and take care.